Hello YouTube, welcome back to your third episode of this series. This episode, what I'm going to be doing for the game is making the input classes. So that is the keyboard class over here, which I mucked up, so I had to delete for this new video, and a mouse class also for this game. So, without further ado, actually, what I'm going to do to start with, I mucked slightly up on the last tutorial, time-wise, so I'm going to add two more methods into this bit here. One of them, below the location relative to method, I'm going to say frame dot add request focus in window. All that means is that you're going to be able to interact with the window when you click on it. So it's going to ask Windows to bring it to the front of your screen so you can use it. The next method I'm going to do is frame.addNotify. And all that does is notify the game about things within the game. I'm not entirely sure about what it does, but I know that you will need this to initialize the keyboard and mouse objects. So let's go down here and import it, or add it. What was it? Add notify. So there we are. Even bought super.addNotify. So now we've finished that, what I'm going to do is start the keyboard method. So we go up here and input a new method, new class up here, also a new package, and call it input. So that's game.input, and under the name let's call it keyboard. So because it's a keyboard, we want to implement things that allow it to act like a keyboard, being keyboard, or implement a keyboard method. I've forgotten what it's called, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to extend key adapter, ADAPTER. This actually implements these methods, but it allows you to pick and choose which ones you actually use. Now I'm going to create three array lists. What these are going to contain is all the methods that or all the key events that you could do. So that's keys pressed, keys released, and keys typed. So that when you press a key, it's going to appear in the keys pressed list, and when you release the key, it's going to appear in the keys released list. And every update, it's going to clear the lists out so it can not get confused about which button you've pressed and what you haven't pressed. So let's add these. I'm going to say private static array list of type key event. Call it keys pressed, and make it equal to a new new array list of type key events. Import those with Control-Shift-O, and we also want the other two for control, so keys released and keys typed. So let's just go paste it down, copy and paste it down, and we'll go released and here, and keys typed. Okay, so those are the three methods. Now if we come down again, we can actually start using these. So the method that I want to use is under the key adapter class, which is keys pressed. To bring up this window, you go Control space, and it allows you to pick the methods that it thinks you're going to use. So for keys pressed, you click enter, and it's there for you. I want keys released and keys typed all the way down here. Now let's just sort this out with Control-Shift-F. We don't want the super method here, we don't want the super method there, we don't want the super method there, even though I want. And that wants to override. Okay. So under the keys pressed, if the key that you're pressing, i.e. O, is already in the list, we don't want to add it. However, if it isn't, we do want to add it. So to do that, we say if it isn't in the method, so not keys pressed dot contains E. So if it doesn't contain E, we're going to add it. So keys press dot add E. And with the other methods, if keys released does contain it, we want to get rid of it from that method because we're not releasing it, we're pressing it. So keys released dot remove, or remove object, and the object is E. And the exact same thing for the keys typed. So if keys typed dot contains E, we want to keys typed dot remove E. We're going to do similar things for all the other methods. So if we just copy and paste it all into these methods, we can just edit them. So keys released, we're not looking for whether it isn't in the keys pressed. We want to remove it if it's in the keys pressed. So yeah, keys pressed. So remove E. And if it's in the keys, or not in the keys released, we want to add it. And just to tidy this up, I'm going to cut that method and move it up there. Exactly the same thing for the keys typed. So get rid of the not method there and set it to removed. Whoops. R-E-M-O-V. Sorry about this. Dot remove E. Right. And if it isn't in the keys typed list, we want to add it. Okay. On the update. Oh, so that's all the input methods. So we've added it all in. In the update method, we want to clear the list out so it's ready for the new listening time. So public void update, and in this update method, we're just going to clear all the lists. So keys press dot clear, nope, dot clear, keys released dot clear, and keys typed dot clear. And I do apologise for the sound of my keyboard. So now we've done that, we want to get the methods. Eclipse actually has a very nice way of knowing whether you're going to get or set methods. So if we go control space, bring up that again, and we say get, it thinks we're going to say get keys pressed, get keys released, and get keys typed, so it's brought those methods up for us. So if we hit enter, it adds get keys pressed method automatically. Go down 2, we can do that again for get keys released and get keys typed. Very, very simple, very quick. Just do a quick time check, 8 minutes. Okay, so that's all of this done. We can exit out of this for now, back to the engine, and under here we want to create the mouse object. So we want this to extend EXT and DS mouse adapter. Now this is going to be slightly different. We want, however, we don't want the lists because it's not a list of the keys. It's either being pressed or being released with the mouse button. So we want a simple object. So private static mouse mouse event. Let's call this mouse pressed, and let's just leave it at that because we can set it later. We also want a couple of these. We want mouse pressed, mouse released, we want mouse moved, mouse dragged, and I can't remember any of them all anymore. So another good thing about Eclipse is because it knows what methods you may want to implement. I can say that because I want to implement all the methods from mouse adapter, I can set these later when I've found out what they are. So if we go down 2, we can go there and say mouse clicked. We want mouse pressed, we want mouse released, we want mouse exited, mouse entered, mouse moved, mouse dragged, and mouse wheel moved. Now, because it's been a bit silly with me, I want to put an at override annotation all over the top of these. So go down and just put an at override. Undo, right. Put an at override annotation on the top. That just speeds things up. It lets Java know that you're overriding a method. You can just import mouse wheel event there. So if we go up again, there was one called mouse clicked, mouse pressed, mouse released, mouse entered. I'm going to move the mouse entered object or method up there just so it's more in order, because I like my things to be in order. So if we just copy this down a couple of times, mouse entered, mouse exit, we also want moved, dragged and wheel moved. So mouse moved, mouse dragged and mouse wheel moved. And because the mouse wheel moved is of type mouse wheel event, let's make it such, so mouse wheel event. So those are the objects. We have all of these. Now, very simply, all we're going to do in these method is just say, for the mouse clicked method, we're going to say mouse clicked is equal to the event E. Under the mouse pressed, we're going to say mouse pressed is equal to E, or the event. So the mouse event E that's passed in. And all the same for the rest of them. So mouse released is equal to E, mouse entered is equal to E, mouse exited is equal to E, mouse moved is equal to E, mouse dragged is equal to E, and mouse wheel moved is equal to E. You all have override annotations on top. Good. The same thing with the update method. We want to clear out all the objects so it knows that there's nothing there, so it's ready to be redone. So public void update, and I'm just going to copy all of these up here just for the sake of me being lazy. Well, I've probably made myself more work doing this way. No, maybe not, but I'm low on time at the moment, as YouTube doesn't really like me uploading videos more than, I think, 20 minutes. So, set that equal to null, that equal to null, yeah, basically them all equal to null. And the last one. So, that's them done. And finally we want the get methods. I'm going to let Eclipse do it for me by going up to source, generate getters and setters, and I'm going to go down here and select get mouse clicked, get mouse dragged, get mouse entered, get mouse exited, get mouse moved, get mouse pressed, get mouse released, and get mouse wheel moved, and just click OK, and it shoves them all in there automatically. Thank you very much, Eclipse. Just check over it. That's done it all properly. It's all public static. Very nice. Thank you very much, Eclipse. Right, so that is the mouse event done. I've done it another special way by implementing these, by doing it source, generate them like that. Doesn't really matter if you do it that way or the other way, but I mean, you know, you could even type it out manually. Anyway, another quick time check, 15 minutes, okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to add it to the game, so the game knows that these two objects exist. It knows it has a keyboard and it knows it has a mouse. So to do that, what we're going to do is create a keyboard object and a mouse object. So, public static final keyboard, let's call it keyboard, is new keyboard, and public static final mouse, call it mouse, is new mouse. Import those two objects because they're in a different class. We have the two objects now. Over in the add notify method, we're just going to add it to the frame so the frame knows that it exists. So frame dot add keyboard or key listener, set the keyboard object. So we're going to do frame dot add mouse listener, set it to mouse. Frame dot add mouse motion listener, that's a mouse, and frame dot add mouse wheel listener. It's another reason why these adapter classes are quite good, is because they just contain all the methods that you could possibly ever want, and a bit more as well. So those are them done, and notice I've done them above the add notify method. I'm going to add in the update method when I have the game loop implemented into the game, which I will be doing next episode. So, I will hopefully see you again next time. Goodbye.